Make Campaigns. This is going to be where you're actually creating all of those great looking emails that you're going to send out. So we have a couple of different sections here. We have our drafts, scheduled, sent, automated, and shared. Drafts are those emails you're working on. The scheduled emails are those emails scheduled to go out in the future. Sent, any emails that you've sent out. Automated, any of those automated emails, the birthday email, welcome email, and actually any of these emails that we see right here, but these are going to be the emails that we use when we're actually working in automation. So we'll see these again a little bit later. We also have our shared section. So anytime the Namaste Lite main level, corporate level, shares down a full campaign with you, it will live right over here in this shared section. You also have your image library, where anytime you upload an image into your emails, it will live in this image library. You can also go ahead and upload any images just to, if you know that you're going to be using them in the future for your emails, you can upload them here. You have your documents library in case you ever wanted to include a document within your emails. You'll upload your documents and it will generate a link for you to include, again, behind a button or behind linked text. Now let's go ahead and jump in and just start working on an email. We'll click in here and say create a new mailing. Now, you have been shared down a few different templates here. So you will actually have 12 template themes shared with you with 3 different layouts per theme. So we see here we have this theme, the Some Like It Hot theme. This is more targeted towards hot yoga. So 3 different layouts per theme. Those 3 layouts are going to be a newsletter layout, an announcement layout, and a sales layout. And then you'll have 2 color options, light and dark. So you see the dark option up here. This is going to be our announcement layout, newsletter layout, and our sales layout. That's going to be the dark color option, and we see our light color option below. Now for now, we only have this theme going on in here. This is one theme, but soon you will have 12 full themes available. So just keeping that in mind, these will be shared in your account. So templates are going to be the starting point for your email. These are just a good foundation. They have filler content in here for you to go in and add in your own content. So this is just where Namaste Lite has helped get you started on the right foot. They have this great branded foundation, and now you'll go in and add in your own content. So we'll use this example here. This is going to be the newsletter template layout from this Some Like It Hot theme using the dark color option. So now we come into the drag and drop editor. The first thing I want to do when I come into the drag and drop editor is give this mailing a name. It's going to default to untitled mailing. Oh, studio email, rename it. Now, this will just help keep your emails organized in your drafts folder as well as in your sent tab and response data. So now we're in the drag and drop editor. We take a look at our content that's already in here, our filler content, and we can always go in and just replace any of this content. That's a great purpose of the template, is that you might not even need to necessarily use these blocks over here. You could just come in and replace this content with your own content, scroll down, put in your own new class schedule, parking reminders, and actually add in your own link for view full class schedule here. If we scroll back up, so my best advice for the drag and drop editor is going to be just coming in here, getting that hands-on experience, putting your own content in here, and getting a feel for it that way. But there are some tips and tricks that I wanted to share just to make that a little bit easier when you first get started. So we see the first thing we see up here, we have this logo. We also have an image. We can come in here and just replace this image by clicking on the image itself and clicking choose another image. We could also drag and drop another image on top of that. Either way, we could click choose another image, and in here we have some other images to work from. For now, I'm just going to keep the same one. You can also upload one from your desktop if the image didn't already exist in your library. So whenever I add an image into my email, the first thing that I want to do is give this image a link. People are clicking on more than just your link text, more than just your buttons. They're also clicking on your images. So giving this image a link and also adding in some alternate text. So alternate text in the event that your subscriber's inbox has images automatically turned off, this alternate text is going to provide a little bit more context for what they're going to see when they turn the images back on. So we'll click Save. We also have some text blocks here. We can adjust this any way we need. If we clicked on this gear, these are going to be your styling and settings options. You can also make copies of these different blocks. So if you wanted to keep this same formatting, this same font and everything, but you wanted to have a little bit more text, you need a little bit more, you could always come in here and just click this button, make a copy of this block, and it will just make an identical copy. So let's say we wanted to change up this background of the block or change up the spacing or anything like that. Again, coming into your gear setting. So we have our styles and settings. You can change up the background. We see some brand colors here already. So this makes it really easy to choose from. Maybe we'll choose this yellow here. And then we can adjust the margin and padding. So the margin is going to be the spacing on the outside of the block, and the padding is going to be the spacing on the inside of the block. So I always like to point out the spacing options because white space or just negative space around your content really helps improve the readability of your emails. So it helps improve and increase reading speed, reading comprehension, just makes your email overall a little bit more scannable. So we see in the settings tab that you're not really locked into this framework. You can turn the text off. You can turn images on if you decided that you wanted an image added in here. You can change the position of the image if you actually wanted it on the right instead of the left. And you can, again, have that flexibility to change up this block however you'd like. Again, you can also drag over blocks from the left. So maybe we take this image back out. We just delete this block, keep the text how we had it before, but we want to drag over another block. So we drag over this block from the left, drag it here, and then we can edit it, make it our own, however we like. Also dragging over an image block, it will behave the same, we just won't be replacing an image. So you'll just either drag and drop, choose from your library, or upload an image as we saw before. So if we scroll down to the bottom, we see this button right here. And buttons are great because buttons are what we like to call bulletproof. They are HTML coded into your email. So where images can sometimes be automatically turned off, buttons are always going to show up. So you can use this button over and over again. You can also drag over a button yourself over here if we wanted to just drag this right underneath. But see, this way you'll have to come in and edit it and use the styling around it to kind of build from there. But if we just wanted to keep the same styling as the button above, we could just delete that out and use this one, maybe make a copy of it, however we wanted to adjust this. So in order to add in a link, we'll just click on this button. We can change up the styling, we can change up the shape of it or the color, and we'll just add in a link right there wherever we want this button to navigate away to. Click Save, and then you'll have that great button. We also see some linked text here. So in order to link out text, you'll just highlight the text and you see this word processing editor pop up. This is probably nothing too crazy, too out of the ordinary. It's probably something similar to what you've seen just since you started typing, but we'll come in and you can just click on this link, insert link, click insert, and now you have some linked text. So if we scroll down, we still see some more content for us to fill in here. We have some upcoming events, teacher training. You have a ton of content to put your own content on top of, anything like that. You have a ton of different sections that you can work from to fill in your own content that pertains to your studio. But you can also take some of this out. Maybe you don't have any teacher training coming up. You can just delete these blocks out and remove that section. We also have an RSS block. This is a newer feature, but if you have any sort of blog or any RSS feed on your website, you can always drag this over, add in the feed URL. It's typically something like your website/feed. It'll depend on your particular website and your blog. You'll add that in there, decide the number of items to show, title, content, anything like that, even a read more link, and click save, and it will pull the snippet from, if we're using a blog, from your latest blog. It will pull, maybe if we have 3 items to show, it will pull the latest 3 blog posts directly from that feed. So that's really cool. We can also add in a video block. This video block is going to connect with YouTube or Vimeo. So if we drag over this video block, we'll either use our YouTube or Vimeo link, and just like if you're putting a YouTube video on social media, it will generate that screenshot automatically, and you'll put in some alternate text as well, similarly to what we saw with the images, and just click Insert Video. We don't have a link right now, we'll just click Cancel, and you'll see that this video block is going to show up here. So again, definitely recommend coming in, playing around with these different blocks, these different images and videos, and even dividers. You can add in a divider to separate out your content. It'll just start off as a gray line, but you can change this up to be a different color or even a dashed line, however you wanted to adjust it. We'll take that out for now. We'll scroll all the way back up. So let's say that we wanted to save this email as a copy or even as a template. You can essentially create your own template gallery. If you had your own content in here and you didn't want to have to go back in and put in some or change out filler content in the future, you can always click on this drop down block next to the save button and save this as a template. You could also save a copy of this email if you just needed a copy of it to build out a similar email or for anything like that. So now let's go ahead and we can say, okay, this email is ready to send out. It's ready to go. We'll go ahead and send ourselves a test. I highly recommend sending a test email just because there are, you want to make sure that the email looks good, not only on desktop, but also on mobile. It's going to proof your email for a second. I left some filler content in here, so it's probably going to show you that we have an issue, but we'll just click continue anyway. And now we type in our email addresses that we want to send this test email to. This can be you, another member of your team, whoever else you want to receive this email. And then you'll type in this subject line. We want to keep our subject lines pretty short and concise. iPhones cut off subject lines after 32 characters. That's about 4 to 7 words. So keeping these straight to the point, and then you can expand on these subject lines with your pre-header text. So your pre-header text is going to be right underneath your subject line. This can be, this is just some prime real estate, again, to give another incentive to open your email underneath your subject line again. This note right here, this is only going to be internal, just if you're sending it to a colleague or another team member saying, hey, just want to make sure you got this. Let me know if you have any edits, anything like that. Then you'll have your sender name, your sender email. This is going to be the marketing email, the marketing sender name. So the name typically of your studio, or if people recognize your name more using your own name, it really depends on your audience. But for the most part, using your studio name and studio email. And then you'll send now. You'll view the test, make sure all the links are working, all the images look great across the board. And then once you've tested that, then we'll review and send. So we'll click review and send. It'll proof again for a second. We'll click continue anyway. Now we'll choose our recipients. You'll come over here and you can choose multiple groups, multiple segments, however we wanted to here, and it will deduplicate automatically. So if people exist in multiple groups and segments, it will only send them this email one time. So you can, this subject line and pre-header text is automatically going to come over from your test email. You don't have to type that in again. It saves a little bit of time there. Your sender name, sender email. And you will either send now or schedule for later. This is just if you want to schedule it out to go on a weekend or anytime that you're not in the office, or if you're just trying to get ahead of things. You can connect your Google Analytics account over here if you want to, just to have that all on that Google Analytics dashboard to see where people are coming over from your email to your website. But then again, once you are ready to send, you'll just click send now or schedule for later.